In this video, I'm going to give you the 5 biggest problems with training OnlyFans chatters. And this is something that I know very intimately because for the past 2-ish weeks, I have been on a hiring and training rampage for chatters because I realized that the more quality chatters I had, the more money I would make every single day. I know it's a crazy fucking concept, but the more salespeople, which is what chatters are salespeople, the more salespeople you have, the more money you're going to make. Boom. What's up, everybody? Yala Poppy from simphunter.com. And like I said in this video, I'm going to give you the 5 biggest problems that I have noticed when hiring and training chatters. So for the past 2 weeks, I've been working studiously on this problem for the exact same reason that I just said, because the more quality chatters you have, everything will just be better. You'll make more money. And it's like, oh, that's the solution to OFMs, just good chatters. Great. Now, that is not to say that you can just get anybody with a pulse and be like, oh, okay, cool. You're alive and have fingers and eyeballs. Okay, great. You can now be a chatter, which is the approach that most people take. Like, oh yeah, you speak English, kind of, like, you know some words, done, sold. You're hired, 15%. So what are the biggest problems when training chatters? It's really hiring and training chatters. Number one, the talent pool is extremely low quality. Extremely low quality. Now, at the end of the day, you get what you pay for. When you're hiring from a third world country, you're hiring from the Philippines. I don't give a fuck where you're hiring from. You're hiring from a place that's not a tier 1 English Anglo country. No offense, Europeans. No offense, I don't know, what else is there? Like, they're just not good. They're not smart people, right? Yeah, you can make some exceptions. Oh, Serbians are good. I've worked with Serbians before. They didn't do a good job on my accounts. Sorry, Serbians. Like, you had your shot. I've worked with 3 different Serbian entities, whether those are agencies or individuals, and they've all like let me down. Oh, 4 actually, like dog shit. It's terrible. So now, again, to be fair, I don't know if that is because it's a low quality talent pool. I wrote here low IQ, but I'm just going to say low quality talent pool. You're hiring from the third world. You're hiring from places where fucking rent is $150 a month. You're hiring from places where, like, if these people were smart, they'd be making more money. Bottom line, period. End of story. They had a higher IQ, they'd be making more money. IQ is a very good predictor of financial success. Okay. So that's one of the biggest problems. That is the biggest problem, I would say. Now, however, I will tell you this. You do not need to be smart to be a good chatter. You do not need to be smart to make money as a chatter. You can be a fucking retard and make money as a chatter. You can. You can. I've seen some great chatters who were dumb. Like, they're so dumb. Like, I want to crawl into a hole and cry. It's like, oh, I can't believe you just said that. Like, shatters my faith in humanity. However, for the most part, hiring and training people who are not intelligent is a challenge. Now, when I hire and train chatters, when I hire them, I am just like, I'm taking everybody. Like, I am more interested in how much effort they put in and how badly they want the job. Okay. That's what I'm more interested in. If they're dumb, fine, you're dumb. But do you really want the job? And are you going to put a lot of effort into it? Come on board. I want you in the family. So that's more important to me than how smart they are. Of course, if they're smart and they put a lot of effort and they want the job, amazing. But they don't have to be smart. They just have to put a lot of effort in. Also hard to find that too, by the way. Second biggest problem when hiring chatters is bad English. Bad English. Now, I like, let's put OnlyFans management aside for a moment. I have 12, 13 years experience as a commission-only salesperson in the beauty industry, face-to-face sales. I used to sell hair products. I used to sell skincare. And the majority, 98.2% of the people that I worked with were foreigners. English was not their first language. Mostly Israelis, some South Americans. Their English was dog shit, like awful. Hey, look, this one good. You buy, okay? You buy. Look, $1,000. Awful, terrible. But they sold like motherfuckers because they were persistent and they wanted the money. Now, unfortunately, those skills apparently are like only applicable for Middle Eastern people and I guess some Latino people. The Filipino equivalent, which again, like I said, that's where most of the people we're selling to or we're hiring are going to be from. Their English is awful. And it's the type of awful where like, it's not like caveman, like me want you buy, it's like not that bad. That would be just funny. It's just like, there's something off about it. It's like when you see like a tranny, but like it's a really hot tranny, but it's like, oh, what is it? Like there's just something, it's not right. You know what I mean? Like, what, and you can't tell what it is. You're just not sure, but like, it looks like a woman. Anyway, I don't know why I came up with that example, but that's what it's like with bad English. Now, like you have a lot of this with the Filipinos where I see this in the role play where it's like, okay, talk like a girl. The goal, the aspiration is for them to be able to talk like a fucking 20-year-old American dumb girl, right? It's not easy. God forbid we put them in charge of a model's account who like takes herself seriously and like, cares what she sounds like. Personally, I'm American and I know Americans are English snobs. If we see somebody who does not speak proper English, they make mistakes or whatever, we just think that person's stupid. And I know it doesn't make sense. It just means you haven't learned the language, but that's what we think. It's like, oh, you don't speak English? You must be an idiot. I don't know why. It's just how it is. Now, when you take that chatter and you put him on an account of a fucking 20-year-old white girl and they make foreigner mistakes, it's like, bro, I don't want to put you on that account because people are going to know they're not talking to the girl. So that's something you have to fucking beat out of them. That maybe can be handled in the role play, maybe can be adjusted with experience, but maybe not. The third problem when hiring chatters is that they are too eager to sell. Now, this is something in my chatting article I call fish market mode, which is coined as such because when you go to a fish market, the fish seller people will be like, hey, who wants to buy fish? Do you want to buy fish? Do you want to buy fish? Oh, I've got this fish on sale right here. It's $10 a pound, normally $20 a pound. Buy this fish. It's really good. And that's how chatters are. That's how they sell. Hey, I've got this dildo video. Do you want to buy it? It's really good. You're going to love it. It's so amazing. It's normally $20, but I'll give it to you for 10. Awful. Terrible. Nobody wants to buy anything like that, especially when every chatter is doing that. Now, you normally see this with chatters that have experience. So come on, and because they don't know any better. Nobody trained them. You can't even really blame them. Okay, I know I give them a lot of shit, but like you can't really blame them for making those mistakes because how else would you know? I'm sure if I like actually tried. Well, no, I know better now. But if you take me back 3 years ago and you're like, hey, I need you to pretend to be this girl to sell content online, I'd probably do that too at first. I don't think I would do it for 2 years straight. I think I would probably figure it out after about 10 minutes. But, like you're not working with like people who are great at thinking on their feet. So being too eager to sell is a problem that I solve by the role play sessions that I do with new chatters. And the role play sessions, by the way, have nothing to do with selling. Nothing. Zero. We do not talk about selling. We do not talk about prices. We don't say the word buy. We don't say the word sell. We don't say the word money. There's no sexy talk at all. Nothing. So that's how I solve that problem. Is I make the entire role play session have nothing. I don't even want them to flirt. Like they're not even supposed to flirt. Like it's just supposed to be like I'm training them how to make small talk. Like it's insane. But it works. So, it's not stupid if it works. Number 4, this is also a big problem. They don't know how to talk like a girl. I give this critique a lot to new chatters. I say, bro, you sound like a fucking Filipino VA. You don't sound like a 20-year-old American girl. You sound like a guy in a fucking call center who like didn't pay attention to English class in high school, and you somehow passed and like got hired at some customer service company, and you're reading like a script. You sound, they just sound bad. So I have to tell them, you have to talk like a girl. How do girls talk? They're lazy. They are lazy, right? Girls are just lazy in general. They're going to conserve energy biologically, whatever. They're not going to type out a fucking big paragraph of text with perfect punctuation and capitalization and be like, oh, I find that so interesting. Please tell me more. I'm so enjoying this conversation with you. Haha. That's not how they talk. They'd be like, okay, LOL, emoji, right? You have to teach them how to do that because, well, I only hire men. I only hire male chatters. And it's, I guess, safe to assume these guys, they're not fucking Don Juan Casanova flirting with girls over text. They don't know how girls talk over text. And so they're just talking normally. I had one guy, and he was like, we were talking in one of the role plays I said something like about 420, right? We're talking about 420 in video games, and the guy, he wrote 420 plus video games equals goated combo, dude. And I'm like, bro, a girl, never in the history of Earth has a girl ever said goated combo, dude. Never. Girls don't say that. They're like, oh, haha, I smoke weed. Haha, XX. Oh, video games. I play, what do girls play? I play Farmville. I play Candy Crush. Hee hee. Dumb shit like that. Like they're different from men, and I have to beat it out of them. Like, you're not a man. You're not a fucking Filipino, 31-year-old customer service worker. You are a girl. Be a girl. The fifth biggest problem when training chatters is that there's just a lot of stuff you got to cover, and it's going to take time to get them to the point where they know more or less what to say in every situation and how to respond, right? There's infinite things that you could say in a conversation, infinite combinations of words, but structurally in a conversation, there's maybe 3 or 4 things, like categories of things that you would say. And it's really just a matter of getting them to respond with the correct category at the right time. So I'll give you an example. I was reviewing a chat the other day, and a fan said to her, he's like, hey, I thought I was going to see more anal content on your page. I didn't really see that much. And the chatter said, like, what does that really say? Right. But what that really says, the sub is saying, hey, I was expecting to see something that I'm interested in seeing. I'm interested enough in seeing this thing that I came here specifically for that. And I noticed that you don't have it. And I'm bringing this to your attention now because I would like to see it. That's what that means, really. And the chatter's like, oh, haha, maybe you should look again because I have some there. It's like, huh? No. The correct answer there is to pull the lead in. It's like, oh, you really like anal content? You really want to see me, do this and do that, and that would really turn you on, and you're a fucking, it depends where you want to take that, but like, you understand, right? You can develop that conversational thread to the point where the sub is getting aroused emotionally and physically also, because he is clearly there for that, right? You're not there to correct him. You're not there to be like, oh, well, actually I do. No, like everything they say, that's a buying signal. That's a buying question, even though it's not a question, right? It's like the equivalent, like if we were to phrase that as a question, it would be like, do you have any of that content? That's a buying question. Somebody's not going to ask that question unless they're interested in buying. They're not asking it just because they feel like speaking words or typing. Okay. And like, that's just not something we go over in the role play. That's not something I was able to teach because that's, And to be fair, this guy's still selling $400 or $500 a day. Like, he's still making money. But he's not going to know what to say in every situation. And you got to fucking go over the chats, and you got to screenshot it, and you got to tell them why they fucked up, and you got to post it in the group, and you got to fucking turn him into a lesson to every other chatter so that they don't do that mistake. You got to make an example of them. It is what it is. It's not malicious. It's just like, bro, this is not how you do it. What you should have said is this. And maybe I'm a little mean about it. I don't know. Maybe, probably. I am. Okay. Those are the biggest problems with training chatters. And I don't know. What do you think about that? Did you like the video? If so, click the like button and comment if you have any comments, and subscribe. And I will see you in the next one.